my favorites. This is a big one. If this experience were to last forever, what quality would have to emerge for me to have peace of mind? Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith. If this experience were to last forever, forever, ever, what quality would have to emerge for me to have peace of mind? That's Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith. Fantastic question, one of my favorites. You'll see it in my book, Career Remix, as well as, I want to say, the original Bites as Entrepreneur is in one of those. But original Bites as Entrepreneur, of course, is in my latest book, The Complete Bring Your Worth Collection. Listen, this is one of my favorite questions, and it appeared in several of my business books because it gets to the heart of something. There's going to be certain things that are never going to change, ever, 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 ever. And what Dr. Beckwith is saying is that you're going to have to find your way on this lovely green earth without necessarily getting what you want, how you want, in the way that you want. That's what it is. It's not cynicism. It's not even realism. It just is. Because the faster you get on that journey, as far as acceptance, the more you see the other opportunities that you have. First element of this is finding peace wherever you are. So, particularly in the last year or two, particularly here in America and some other places abroad, excuse me, the amount of changes and adaptations, and even look at the past 5 years. Think about the past 5 years, wherever you are in the world, how much things have changed. Amazing. How much we survived, how much we continue to survive, how many people have passed. Let's keep it real. There needs to be a level of grounding that happens because the world is not going to stay the same. As much as doing the work of this show, doing the work of the 27 books, doing the coaching, what motivates me is creating a better world. I also recognize that probably within my lifetime, that work will not be done, which might as well say that work will be never done, at least within my lifespan. So you have to find comfort in that the world's always going to evolve. And it might not go in the way that you like. Does that mean you stop doing the work? Does that mean you stop showing up? Were you doing the work just because you thought you'd quote unquote win? Because aren't going in your favor? That's reason enough for you not to make the world better for the next group of people or things that are here. If that's enough, then it becomes a question of how committed are you to this part of the journey and why were you doing it? This is meant as a judgment towards you or even towards myself, because I definitely have felt that way sometimes. But what he's forcing you to do is to look beyond the right now. I can't go forward because this hasn't happened yet. I can't go forward because this person hasn't changed their mind. I can't go forward because this group won't get out of my way. Is that all it takes? You're just going to be miserable then, huh? If this thing were to last forever, what would you need to facilitate, to bring in, to talk about, to create, to have peace? And I don't think he's talking about giving up. Sometimes we put so much power into other people, other organizations, other groups, and say they took this from us. Well, now they did because we gave it to them. It wasn't tooken, pardon my English, but it wasn't tooken until we said it was tooken. Someone can take your joy. You kind of have to give it to them. Not saying it's easy, but so many of these things that feel like black and white, that feel like either or, that feel like they've taken us away. We really, once we say that, kind of we've kind of given it away. What do you actually have control over? That's what, in my opinion, what Dr. Beckwith is saying. Zero in on what you have control over. I control my mind, my heart. I have limited control over my family as far as guiding them. I have some control over this channel. I have control over what I'm going to write. I have control over what I'm not going to write. I have control over what I'm going to eat, how I'm going to take care of myself, how I'm going to rest. I have control about what I'm going to ingest. I have control over how much I look at social media. Done whole episodes on that. And I'm just going off the top. I'm just spitballing here. There's so many things that we actually have control over. And when we're spiraling, having a difficult time, overwhelmed, disappointed, angry, I've been all those things this year. I'm not trying to judge you. I'm speaking from experience. We have a choice. We can either say these things need to change, or I'm not going to have peace. Or we can say I can cultivate my peace by doing these things that I actually have control over. It's always a choice. Fantastic follow up to this. The Body Keeps the Score by, I always screw up his name, Dr. Bezel van der Kolk. Bezer van der Kolk respects your work, and he's still around doing his thing. In fact, I know some folks are trying to get to his seminars. Good luck getting to his seminars. I heard he's very popular these days. Fantastic book. I've heard about this book for years. You probably heard this little quote, body keeps score, etc. It comes from this. This is not light reading. It is heavy. My kids wanted to read this because I'll read out loud to them. I was like, I'm not reading this out loud to you at all. There's a lot of trauma-informed things in here, as they say, a lot of intense stuff that talks about. So, buckle up if you're going to read this one. But it's a fantastic book that talks about how what we don't deal with appears in other forms, usually in the physical form. When we say we're over it, we're not really over it. The body keeps the score. It knows you're not over it. So this ties into Dr. Beckwith's work in question, I believe, in that he's not saying if this situation were to last forever, then you would have what would it what would it be required for you to have peace? What he's saying is that what would be required to have a real peace? As one of my mentors says, you can go and say you're over it, but did you let it go? Some of us, including me, have a hard time with that. This is a great warning to say, yo, if you're saying you let it go and you didn't really let it go, it's not like it goes anywhere. Fantastic book. Read it, as you can tell from cover to cover, and dog-eared the heck out of it. Please go and read it if you're interested in some of the, I think they call it a psychosomatic. It's a connection between the psyche and soma being the body, psychosomatic connection. I nerd out on it. I think y'all would appreciate it as well. And 4 ways to self-sabotage, a beginner's guide. Worth checking out as far as you understanding how you can be better towards yourself, how you can be more honest with yourself, and getting into these 3 questions we talked about today, how you can actually raise your emotional intelligence without destroying yourself. And I think it's such an important part of the journey. I'm entrepreneurial coach Damon Brown. I'm here to help you as a side hustler, solopreneur, otherwise an non-traditional entrepreneur. You watch Bring Your Show every Wednesday at 1:11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Vegas time. You can subscribe for free. If you want more after this episode, click any of the links below, and I think that'll be a nice after dessert for that. My personal favorite, which after this you should check out, would be again one of the most popular episodes on the channel. Brene Brown's Secret to Accepting Difficult People. If you're asking yourself these 3 questions or you're curious, you might be going through some emotional intelligence stuff right now. This would be a great place to start. Let me know. Drop in the comments. What do you think you would need right now to find peace? Because what you really are after is suddenly not available. Drop a line in the comments. Even if you're watching the replay, I'd love to hear it. Until next time, remember you can always bring your worth. Wait, yeah. You can always bring your worth. Thought I got mixed up. You can tell it's Friday in my mind. It's Wednesday, but it's Friday in my mind. Remember, you can always bring your worth, and you can always build from now. Take care of yourselves and others. I'll see you guys in the comments.